Heyo, welcome to a new game called Breach Wanderers. So this game is in early access and I was sent a link to test it out, and I have to admit I first didn't go into it with an open mind because I was told that it was similar to Hearthstone and Slay the Spire, and I really like Slay the Spire. I don't really like any other roguelike card games, but I have to admit after playing this for quite a while, and I do want to show, so you can unlock cards, and I am almost done unlocking all of the cards. Yeah, so I have been playing quite a while. I have to admit, I'm starting to like this game quite a bit. Alright, so you have two in-game currencies. One is the Ether, which you get after every fight, and one is the Gold, which you also get after every run. And with the Ether is mostly used to unlock these cards, and Gold is mostly used to give you permanent upgrades that will help you through each run. So most of those upgrades are happening in the Forge. So for example, you can see that I already upgraded a lot of stuff. Things that are upgradable are how many choices you're presented after each fight, choices for relics basically. How many Ether boosters you get, these translate into relics as well. How many times you can rest, which restores HP, how much HP you get after at the end of every fight, and sort of overall maximum health. And I've already upgraded them, and obviously the more I play, the more I'll be able to upgrade them. You also have this quest board, which is one of the reasons I kept playing this. I have to admit, I don't usually like quests, but it's starting to get addictive, right? Every time you can get quests upgraded, you can re-roll them a few times, and this resets after every fight or every run. And then yeah, I did pretty well with those quests. You also have the market, which I haven't used that much. These give you like one-time bonuses, which I haven't used that much, but I figured without having to explain much, I'll try to get started and sort of, you know, introduce you to the game as you go. There is a tutorial when you first play the game, and I did play it, but a lot of stuff is still sort of, you know, you learn as you go. Now you have 5 characters. I've been playing mostly with the first character, Roadan, and there are a bunch of other characters, and they're all specialized with different things. And you can see that all of them have things that you can unlock. And with Roadan, I'm already on level 10, so I've locked everything. So that gives me significant bonuses. And that's also the one character I spend most time figuring out you know, how to build my deck. And without getting into too much detail, the default deck for Roadan focuses mostly on Frost, which I'll explain in a second, or you know, once I encounter it in the play. But I changed the deck. I spent a little bit of time creating this multi-hit damage deck, which if I'm putting it into Slay the Spire terms will translate into like a limit break strength deck, which I thought, you know, I had most success with this type of deck, so I figured we'll start. You also have 2 depths, so as it explains here, imagine these are basically like acts in Slay the Spire. So right now there are two depths, 2 acts, and obviously the second one is very difficult, and I believe the developers said that they want to add more because I really enjoyed the different depth. Each depth has a different set of enemies similar to Slay the Spire, and I have to admit, one of the things I really like this game, it is early access, but it has a very nice character design, very nice it doesn't feel like an early access game. It feels like it's already complete. And again, I do want to emphasize, I spent a lot of time building this deck, and if you're not like that, there is a quick play option which sort of starts with a sort of default deck. Yeah, this is, I think, meant more for people who enjoy sort of thinking about strategies and building a deck that they think will do well. And multi-hit damage is the one that I did. I think it does best. Anyway, we'll go over the benefits of my deck as we get into it, but let's go into the breach. Alright, so one of the things I upgraded in the Forge is this energy. You start off with 120. When you first start the game, obviously you started with 0. But this is a big bonus. It basically allows me to get sort of a relic, and I can pick one of these. Now, these active relics are kind of like potions. So this one would give frozen to any enemy, and here I can talk about the frozen debuff. When you make an enemy frozen, they skip a turn, which is very useful if the enemy is doing something huge. And then this is random damage when drawing an extra card. Since my current deck doesn't really have any card draws, I'm going to go with this, basically a potion. And when it's active, that means that you can use it once, but you can use it in every fight. So it's basically like a potion that refills at the end of each fight. Alright, before we review the path, let's look at my, these are the cards I selected. So when you start building your deck, the game recommends that you sort of have 4 energy cards. This is mana, it's the in-game energy, and it's similar to energy in Slay the Spire. So I picked up these, so this one gives 2 energy and 2 shields, and this one gives 2 energy, and if I have no mana, it gets another 2. So pretty useful. And then before I talk about the others, I just want to point out, so there are strike cards. These just do damage. This one also applies poison to the enemy, which is probably best illustrated once I actually use it. And then you have skills for defensive cards. I don't have that many. I think I just have the restorative shield, but my pool has a few that I hope to pick up. More multi-hits, and then you also have spells which are sort of like more powerful damage cards, and this one just does damage to a lot of enemies. So is that damage to the first and then second and third enemies with, you know, staggered amount. And then the reason this is sort of like a strength deck, I picked up these 2 enrage cards. Now they give me the mighty bonus. Mighty is like the vulnerability bonus, so it increases my damage that I do to other enemies by 30%, but it also gives me the debuff vulnerable, which increases damage that I take from others by 30%. The number next to it shows how many turns that will be active. And then the gather power, I lose 2 mighty, so the hope is to play a few of those and then play this one. I lose 2 mighty, but when I do, I gain 1 powerful, and powerful is basically strength. It increases the damage all of my cards deal by 1, and it isn't reduced at the end of the turn naturally, although there are ways to get it reduced. Now this is the path similar to Slay the Spire. You have sort of bosses here in the middle, and you can choose which one, and since I played a while, I sort of know what they do. This guy likes to do a lot of damage after, I believe, 14 turns or so, and this one likes to deal double damage oftentimes. I think I'll go for the left one. And then you have a final boss, which this one, there are currently 2 bosses in the end. This one does, it's 4 enemies, so it's more like a multi-hit enemy, whereas the other one is, well, a single enemy who summons minions. Alright, and then question mark rooms are actually very important here. So one of the drawbacks of drafting your own deck is that it's very difficult to remove cards. So there are basically just 2 ways. You have an opportunity to remove cards after each boss fight, and you can rest whenever you want, and after resting, sometimes you get bonuses, and one of the bonuses can be another card removal. But yeah, so removing cards is difficult, and you can't skip cards. So after every fight, you're offered a card, and you have to take it. So this is why the question mark rooms are very important, because sometimes question mark rooms are just random events that don't require you to take cards, which I prefer. So I see a nice path with 5 question marks on the left. So let's get started. And yeah, as I go through the game, I'll explain some of the methods here. So pretty straightforward. It indicates what the enemies are doing. So this one is giving some block, and it's doing some debuff on me. This guy's attacking me for 8. Now note, when I become vulnerable by playing Enrage, this increases to 10. Which is fine. I also start off with 10 shield. Now this shield is a one-time use, but obviously when I play my shield card, I'll get more. You can have more than 10 shield, but when you do, at the end of the turn, it resets back to 10. Same with energy. Now energy doesn't get lost each turn, but if it's past the maximum, in this case 10, it would reset down to 10 at the end of the turn. And then you gain, I believe, Roadan actually gets 4 energy every turn. I could be wrong. We'll see in a second. Alright, so here first I'll play Virulent Strike. So this gives me the Envenom buff, which means that every time I attack an enemy, the enemy gains 1 poison. So let's do that, and immediately after getting Envenom, I also deal 2 damage to the first enemy, meaning I give him 2 poison. And poison is not like Slay the Spire, so it's actually more like the modded Slay the Spire. The enemy takes 2 damage at the end of the turn, and then the rank reduces to half what it was. Most other buffs, the rank just reduces by 1 every turn, but poison reduces by half. Alright, let's also do slash, apply more poison, and I'll just play focus to gain energy. And yeah, as mentioned, energy doesn't get lost unless you are past the maximum. Alright, so this guy debuffed me and gave me vulnerable, which is okay. I might be able to kill, so hang on. Yeah, let's do enrage. Gather power. So gather power makes me lose mighty and then gain powerful. That means all my attacks are slightly more powerful than they were before. So let's do triple strike. So this guy's close to death. Let's do a little bit of block like so. So I'll lose 1 HP here, but it's fine. After every fight, I will heal back 2. Now this guy also has this reflect buff, which means that every time I attack, I'll get 2 damage. I'll take 2 damage, which is fine. Alright, let's do Virulent Strike again, and then I'll do Fragmented Blast. That will actually, let me do Mana Shield first, then do Fragmented Blast. Oh, and this is actually one of the quests I fulfilled here. And then because I want to avoid the damage, let's just drink the 1 time per fight use Frozen. So now the enemy is frozen, which means that basically they're skipping a turn. And that means they're not attacking me. Alright. Okay, so here, let's do Enrage and Gather Power. Restorative Shield, and then I think I should be able to kill with my attacks. Alright. So yeah, this is how it goes. There's one more mechanic that hopefully I'll be able to explain. Yeah, actually, let's explain now. So it's the Arcane mechanic. So Arcane is a special type of attack, and it says in the description, so you fill a target's bar, and my bar is 10, and most enemies also start off with a bar of 10, although you can have some enemies that have a higher bar. So as soon as the arcane bar reaches the max, in this case 10, they will take 10 damage and all of their buffs are reduced by 1. And this is something that enemies can do to me as well. But I'm not building an arcane deck, so I think I'll go with with another Virulent Strike, although because now I have 2, that might be one of the cards I want to remove. So this is just a regular event. So it says you encountered a field of sleeping red lore blossoms. These are the plants I was just fighting, actually. And according to the guidebook, when they're red, you shouldn't give them time to wake up. So you dash through, means it's working, so you're making it through, they're not attacking. Now you can still detour to a caravan, and when you do, you will have to fight 4 of them, which is actually kind of difficult. So let's not check it out and let's just continue. So that gives me a bunch of energy as well as the experience, which is only useful if your character is not already at level 10, which mine is already. So here, let's see what item we can equip. Again, you have 2 choices. So this is a weapon, and I should also point out my inventory. So you have 1 armor slot, 1 weapon slot, 2 trinket slots, or I guess these are ring slots, and then 5 trinket slots. And this only happens because I unlocked all the characters slots already. If you're playing a new character, you have way fewer than that, but you know, I obviously have more. Okay, so the weapon is strike damage is increased by 1, which is very good because I do have a few multi-hit strikes, right? So all of these would have 1 extra strike damage. And then I also would apply burn with each strike. And burn is a debuff that on the enemy, where the enemy takes 5 damage at the end of the turn. And then this trinket basically just deals 6 damage to burning enemies and give burn to all enemies. But I think this is way better. Yeah, weapons generally are pretty good. Okay, let's move on. Alright, so these guys also apply poison to me sometimes, so we'll see how it is to get poison applied back to you. Alright, I'll do Enrage, meaning I'll take a little bit more damage, but also deal more damage. And then Gather Power to gain permanent strength. And then I can do Slash, Fragmented Blast. Okay, and then Focus. Alright. Okay, so this guy gave me the Leech debuff, so every turn I will take 2 damage and the owner heals 2 health. So yeah, I will just take 2 damage and heal 2 health, but that's fine. I can do Enrage, Virulent Strike, and Triple Strike, killing this guy. So I will still take 2 damage, but obviously he doesn't heal 2 health anymore. Okay. And then this guy gave me even more Leech. So every turn I will lose 1 level. So instead of having 3 turns of Leech, I would have 2. But this guy just gave me 2 extra levels. So, alright, let's do Virulent Strike, Triple Strike, giving Poison and Burn. And then I will do I need to restore the shield? Yeah, no harm done in that. Okay. So you saw, well, never mind, yeah. And now this guy gave me 10 poison, which means that I would take 10 damage at the end, but then I would, the poison will decrease by half, so I would end up with only 5 for next turn. Can I kill here? I think I can, right? Virulent Strike, and then Slash is enough. Good. Okay. Alright, so, Drain Life is, I put it in my pool for a reason. It deals a lot of damage and also restores some health. Curse Spores is interesting. That's sort of like a classic silent poison deck. So you deal 2 poison to all enemies, and then that value is increased by 2. I should also mention you have the ability to upgrade cards, although that only happens after boss fights. Here, though, I think I'll go with the Blessed Strike. So you deal multiple damage, and remember with the sword I have here, all of my strike cards also apply burn and deal more damage, right? So how do I exit here? Yeah, so this is already counted here. It's usually 3 times 2, but now it's 4 times 2. And then this is the important thing. It reduces the rank of my debuffs by 1. This is very useful because the Enrage give me the debuff of being vulnerable. And if I can reduce it immediately, then I'm not vulnerable anymore, right? So I'll definitely go for this. Alright, let's do more question marks. So with a bit of luck, you spot a small hidden cache of supplies near your path, and I'm going to loot it. Now, oftentimes when you loot it, there are people there that try to defend it, or not people, I guess mythical monsters. And if I didn't have 4 skill cards, I wouldn't have this option. So I would have to defend yourself. If you're defending yourself, you're basically vulnerable at the start. If you're not, if you have this option, so then the enemies become vulnerable. They get this debuff, ambushed. So the debuff is 50% chance of receiving critical damage. So critical damage just deals more damage. Right, unfortunately, I am starting off in, yeah, not in a great way. Let's do double enrage here, restorative shield, and then the mana shields. At least I'm not taking any damage that way. Okay. And then here, yeah, let's definitely gather power. And then with Blessed Strike, I would lose the 1 turn of vulnerability I have left. So let's do that first, okay. And then Fragmented Blast is good. Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's do Slash, then Fragmented Blast, okay. So Frontliner is dead, that's good. Although I will, actually no, yeah, I will lose 1 HP, right? Because the Leech deals 2 damage. Yep, that's fine. Okay, now this guy is gains the reflect buff again, so every time I attack I'll take damage, but I think that's okay. Let's do Virulent Strike, then Triple Strike. Okay, he's dead, and then I can do, yeah, Virulent Strike, Slash, and then Focus being useful here because I gain, instead of 2, I gain 4 mana. Okay. And yeah, this guy applied Arcane to me. Now you can see that my bar is 6 out of 10. As soon as it reaches 10, I would lose 10 HP, or 10 damage, I guess. I can defend with it with block, and I would lose one of my debuffs. So the powerful debuff would be lost, which would be actually very unfortunate. So, all right, I think I can just do. Let's do Fragmented Blast. Oh, that's enough. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so this is another great card in my pool. So Power Surge, gain 1 powerful, transform it to an Exhaustion. Exhaustion is basically like a card that fills up your deck, and you can play it to remove it, but the powerful gain is very useful. So let's choose that. Okay. And then here, it's basically a fork in the road, and you can do different things here. So I believe when you enter the Collapse Inn, you gain extra mana, maximum mana. You can also enter the Forge to upgrade things, and then I actually not sure what the other things do, but let's gain. Actually, I wouldn't mind entering the Forge, and then yeah, so I can upgrade anything. And so upgrading the Powerful Surge is actually useful because I gain 2 powerful, which because I have so many multi-hits would be useful. Upgrading Enrage is also nice because first it becomes free, and second I get 5 mighty, so I don't have to wait so long to get mighty before I play the Gather Power. But I think I should start with the Power Surge upgrade. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I also get an upgraded Exhaustion, but that's fine. Alright, so this is the first boss fight. That's the one thing I would actually ask the developers. So I'm missing the names of the enemies. That I think a lot of them. Wait, Vessel of Knowledge is not the name of the enemy, is it? Okay, I never thought of clicking on it. Okay, fine. Maybe I'm not missing the names. Yeah, they're all very. I like the design. I think they're very neatly designed. It took me some time to get used to it though. Alright, so let's do Enrage, Triple Strike, and now this is one thing that, similar to Slay the Spire, you wouldn't know if you hadn't played it, but the debuff I get this first turn, he's going to give the Doom debuff to me, which means that after a bunch of turns, I will take like 50 or so damage. So I'm sort of inclined to just... Actually, no, just for the interest of finding out what it is, let's see. Yeah, so this is the Doom debuff, or I guess it's considered a buff because you can't remove it. So you take 50 damage when this affects the spires. So the goal is here to try to kill before this counter reaches 0. Alright, let's do Power Surge, Virulent Strike, Blessed Strike, Slash, and then Restorative Shield so I don't take any damage this turn. Okay. Alright, this guy's going to apply Arcane here. Let's do Enrage, Gather Power. Okay, and then Virulent Strike, Fragmented Blast, and Max Mana Shield. Yeah, I'm pretty confident this deck can handle it. Now, I received another debuff here, so Arcane Weaknesses, it doubles the effects of the next Arcane Detonation. And so, yeah, basically, I can't remove it. It isn't removed at the end of the turn naturally. The only way I can remove it is if I played the... this thing, the Blessed Strike, but obviously I wasn't able to draw it. And so that means that when he applies 16 Arcane to me, it will fill this bar. I would take not 10 damage, but 20 damage, and I'll lose one of the debuffs, which is unfortunate, but sadly there's not much I can do about that. Let's do Enrage, Fragmented Blast. Okay. And then, yeah, so sadly I'm going to take... quite a bit of damage, and actually, yeah, I was dealt damage twice because there was so much. And every time you fill the arcane bar, the max of the bar increases. So first it was 10, then 12, and now it's 14. But yeah, that's what happens. Alright, I can still do gather power, right? And then I can do virulent strike twice. Focus slash. Oh, actually that's enough. Yeah, this deck is really good against this type of enemy. Alright, so let's see what relic we got. Okay, so they're both trinkets. One is a... If it doesn't say active, that means that this is passive, meaning it works every time. So status reduction bonus is +2. That means that... Actually, I'm not 100% sure what the status reduction bonus is. Probably applies more when I reduce my statuses. This is probably better though. So if you have no mana, draw 2 and gain 4 mana. And again, it's active, so it's sort of like a potion I can use in every fight. Let's also see... Oh, this is perfect. So Ether Storm is great. It deals 2 times 4 damage to all enemies. It is a spell, which means it's not affected by the sword, because this one is only for strike damage. But it will be affected by the powerful debuff, or powerful buff. So the more strength I get, the more damage this will deal. The others are fine, but they're both mana related, and I think I'm pretty good with mana. So let's take the Ether Storm. And then here's also an opportunity to upgrade, and I generally like to upgrade the rare card that I picked, and you can tell that it's rare by the gold frame. So yeah, now instead of 2 times 4, it's 2 times 6, and then if I gain more strength, so even 1 strength will bring it up from 12 to 18. So it's a significant deal for all enemies. So what to remove? I sort of am thinking, I did pick an extra virulent strike, but that might not be a bad idea. Maybe I'll remove the slash, or even the fragmented blast, because it's maybe not that much damage, especially compared to Ether Storm, which I just picked up. Yeah, let's remove the fragmented blast. Okay. All right, so next let's go this way for 2 more question marks. Alright, so this enemy tries to freeze me. So again, my freeze bar is similar to the arcane bar. First, it has to fill to 10. So the 6 freeze will not affect me too much, but it might affect me later. Alright, let's do power surge here. Gain 2 strength. Now the Ether Storm does 24 damage to all enemies. Oh, and then the backliner, Assault Wisp. Yeah, he does, every turn he gains 1 powerful. So this turn he's attacking me for 10, next turn it'll be 15, 20, etc. So I will try to kill him as fast as possible. Let's do Virulent Strike, and then the Ether Storm. So that's 24 damage to all enemies, as well as a bunch of poison. Yeah, Ether Storm is pretty powerful, especially in this deck. If I didn't have the powerful, it wouldn't have been that good. And then let's do Restorative Shield and Mana Shield, okay. Alright. So this guy's dead with poison. Oh, and then this applied me a debuff that will apply shock to me every time I draw a card. Yeah, so shock. Okay, this debuff is special to the Shock Wisp. So the debuff is that you apply 2 shock to yourself whenever you draw a card. And obviously at the end of the turn you draw 5 cards, meaning that I filled my shock bar already because it was only 10. And then when you fill your shock bar, you get the shock debuff. So the damage taken from the next attack is increased by 100%. So you basically get double damage. The shock rank cannot be reduced by cards or effects, so that's going to stay. There's no way to reduce it. The only way to reduce it is when you get attacked, you'll take the damage, and then it's reduced. And so you could have noticed last time he attacked me for 5, this time he's attacked me for double that, so 10. So it's already listed here how much you get attacked with this in mind. But I think I should be able to kill here. Good. Alright. So, oh, this is great too. So it's Stinging Strike. It deals 2 times 4 damage for only 1 energy, and then it is, because it's a strike card, it is affected by my sword, and it will be affected by powerful. So, yeah, the more strength I have, the better this will be for only 1 energy, which I think is very valuable. Okay, so this event, I haven't figured out if it's always the same way, but basically you walk around a small curve in the forest of path and you immediately notice a group of small munchrooms. They're already looking directly towards you, but they're not making any aggressive move. Now, so you can obviously attack, and in that case you don't get any buffs, but you can surprise attack them, in which case they get a debuff. You can also passively walk through, and in my experience when you do that, they ask for a trinket, and sometimes when you don't give them one, well, you can just give them one, they let you go and give you energy or something. If you don't give them one, they sometimes just let you go. So let's try it. Let's just passively walk through. Oh, nope, it didn't work. Another one sneaked up on you as you tried to say something. So yeah, now I'm getting this debuff Ambushed, a 50% chance of receiving critical damage. Luckily, I'm not getting attacked here. And I think I can remove it with the Blessed Strike, or at least decrease it. So let's do Virulent Strike, Slash, and then Blessed Strike. Yep, perfect. And then it'll be gone next turn, and they're not even attacking this turn. So, okay, but this guy did give me, oof, 20 poison. It's rough. Alright, let's do Power Surge. I think here I'm not going to do the Enrage because they're already attacking me for quite a bit and I don't want to lose more HP. So let's just do Restorative Shield, Mana Shield, Focus. And yeah, I'm going to lose a bunch of poison and then, or damage from poison, then the damage from the attacks. Okay. Ether Storm deals a bunch of damage. Let's do Virulent Strike first. Then Ether Storm will also apply a bunch of poison. Stinging Strike should be enough to kill with Triple Strike. Okay. Alright, took some damage there, but that's okay. And then here, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Drain Life just because it's expensive, and I'm sort of focusing more on multi-hits. Leech is interesting. I think there was one enemy that was giving me that, right? It's a debuff, so every turn the enemy will take 2 damage and I will heal 2 damage. It's not super powerful, it's just a tiny bit of damage. Regrowth might be better. Draw the top cards of your discard pile. So that could be something like the Ether Storm or something else. So let's take that. Okay, moving on straight for the next question mark room. Alright, so here, I could also use the Regrowth with the Mana Shield just to gain extra energy. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Let's do Virulent Strike, Mana Shield, Regrowth. And then I can restore this to the and slash, okay. Right. Okay, so I already have 6 Arcane, meaning this guy, when he applies 6 Arcane, I will lose not only 10 damage, but I'll also lose the Envenom debuff. And any other debuff I would have. Let's see, I can't do Gather Power. Maybe I could consider freezing this guy so I don't get the Arcane debuff, but let's first do the Ether Storm, right? Yeah, let's do Ether Storm. Okay. It's a lot of damage, alright. And then let's do Blessed Strike. Hang on, Stinging Strike is 8 damage, not that much. I could do Triple Strike. Yep, a bunch of damage to the first enemy. Then Stinging Strike. Okay. Yeah, sadly this won't kill, right? So I will take a bunch of damage. Let me do Gather Power just so I'm at 0 energy, and then play the Scroll of Recall, gaining 4 mana and drawing 2 cards. Okay. And then I can do Power Surge, Blessed Strike. Okay, so that way I'm not getting arcane damage. That's good. And then I can do focus. You know what? Let me use this as well. Let's freeze this guy. So this way I'm only taking 1 damage and I'm not gonna get shocked. Okay. Alright, let's double Enrage here. Virulent Strike, play these 2. Alright. That should be... Yeah, he's not dead with the... Oh no, he was dead with the poison, right. The burn did it. And now I'm also gonna get shocked because of this overcharge back. So I'm getting 16 damage. Can I kill before then? Yeah, I can do Gather Power, Virulent Strike, and Blessed Strike for a kill. Awesome. Yeah, Strength Deck is pretty viable here. Alright, let's gain another relic. So, okay, I can exchange my Burning Blade with the weapon Poison applied by spells plus 4. Now, I don't think I have many spells, right? It's just the, yeah, just the Ether Storm. So it would just apply 4 poison total. It wouldn't apply 4 poison per hit. So I don't think I'll take it. I think the one I currently have is better. And then this trinket starting Wits plus 4. So Wits is a buff where you draw an extra card every turn, which is useful. So let's take it. Also have enough slots for that. So Corrupted Blast is interesting. It gives vulnerable to the enemies. But I think I'll go with another Virulent Strike. Really focus on that poison. Alright, here I'm looting again. Just getting a bunch of energy, gold, ether, and the experience. And then I could consider resting, but because I have another act after this, let's actually not rest. I think I should be fine against these ones, especially with the Ether Storm. Alright, so I'm sort of inclined to do Power Surge twice. Not getting attacked by any of these. Now, these all have the Death Spore buff. So every time they die, then they would apply 1 powerful for all the allies. So all of the allies will gain extra strength. Yeah, let's do Enrage, Power Surge, and then Regrowth the Power Surge. Yeah, I think it'll be... Oh no, I didn't notice. I got the Exhaustion instead. Well, I guess I can use that as an opportunity to remove it, but yeah, that's not what I had in mind. It's okay, though. Okay. Alright, now because I had more than 10 block, it's gonna drop down to 10 again. Alright, now they're all giving each other Adept. Adept is a buff where it increases the status Arcane Frost or Shock applied by 30%. So previously this would have given me 6 Arcane, now it's giving me 8 Arcane. Alright, so Ether Storm, yeah, that's 30 damage to all enemies, is pretty powerful. Let's, you know what, I think I'll do Enrage and Gather Power. Gain 1 more powerful. Okay, now it's 36 damage to each enemy. Let's do that. As well as a bunch of poison, right? Yeah, that Ether Storm is probably the main reason that I am able to really do well here. And then I can kill the frontliner with the Triple Strike. Now, they all got the powerful debuff, or buff, I mean. Powerful, yeah, so they're dealing 1 extra damage. I don't want to lose my buffs, so I'm actually thinking of maybe applying the Cryogenic Flask on this guy. On the other hand, I am fully defended, so I would lose 1 powerful, but then also my Arcane bar will be higher. So yeah, let's just do this. I'll accept the 10 damage. I'll accept losing 1 powerful and 1 mighty. But now, for the next arcane hit, I would need to reach 12. Although, yeah, this guy's going to give me... No, none of them are attacking. That's good. Okay, so let's do 16 damage is almost enough, right? Let's do Virulent Strike first, then Stinging Strike. Okay, Virulent Strike again, Blessed Strike, Slash. Alright, awesome. Only 1 left. I have to admit, it took me quite a while to build this good of a deck. It usually, when I first started, it took me way longer to even get to the second act. Alright, let's do Enrage, Gather Power, Virulent Strike, and play the mana cards. Okay. This guy's almost dead, right? I just need a little bit of damage. Awesome. Yeah, that was actually a very good fight. Alright, so next, I can take another weapon, but I would have to obviously remove this one. So strike damage still +1, but then bleed applied by strike +2 versus having the burn applied by strike +1. So bleed is a debuff that is more annoying when I get it, but when the enemies get it, they take 1 damage per rank every time I play a card until the next turn. And they take that damage once at the end of their turn, meaning at the end of the turn, once they have a chance to attack me, they will take some damage for each card that I played, which is not that much, right? So at most 4 or 5, and the burn that I get from this weapon is always 5 damage, right? So I think that's not that great. It's also very annoying when I have it, because then every card I play I will take damage. But anyway, so let's not take this. This trinket gives you starting tough rank, and tough basically decreases damage taken and statuses received from cards by 30%, which is great. Let's take it, and because it's not active, it's going to be permanent. Alright, next. So, yeah, the Singularity is interesting. So, it deals 50 damage, upgrades to being 60 damage for a lot of energy. Now, the reason I actually like this card is because there are a few enemies that have, the same buff that I just took, the tough rank. So if they take actually no, there's another debuff or buff that you can have where you just decrease the amount of damage by 1 or by 2. It's because I have so many multi-hit attacks, that's going to be annoying. So it's nice to have one card that sort of just deals a bunch of damage, enough to kill a lot of enemies. This is also pretty good, Curse of the Forest. So you get cursed, well, you give curse to an enemy, which increases damage dealt by statuses, Arcane, Frost, and Shock by 30%, which is much more useful if you're sort of building like an Arcane or Frost deck. But it also applies 28 Arcane, which usually fills the bar twice over. So that's 20 damage, removes all the debuffs twice. Pretty powerful, but I think for this deck, Singularity is better. And I'm actually thinking I'll upgrade that right away as well. Yeah, so 60 damage, even better. Alright, and then what do I want to remove? I feel like, yeah, let's remove one of the Virulent Strikes because I don't want to have too many attacks. So I think you don't have to remove, I could continue here, but I do want to make sure that, you know, the less cards I have, the more likely I am to draw the, sort of the powerful and mighty buff cards that I would like to play. Alright, again, maximizing question mark. You can see that the enemies here are, again, different. Yeah, but set, so these are dragons which have evasion. This guy is actually very difficult. I have always trouble fighting against him. This guy's a phoenix which regenerates, and yeah, this is one of the bosses. They're sort of similar. They're very powerful. It's not going to be easy, this act. But yeah, so there are 4 question mark path here, and then if I turn left, there's another 2. That's a pretty good path. Let's take it. Between these two, let's start with the dragon just so you see. So the dragons start off with 4 evasion, meaning it prevents the next source of damage from an attack. It isn't reduced at the end of the turn, meaning I just have to attack it to get rid of it. But I do have Ether Storm, which deals damage 6 times, so that would get rid of it. Well, and then, of course, for enemies like this, Singularity would be pretty useful because you deal 60 damage, but it's caught all by evasion. It's basically like a buffer in Slay the Spire. Alright, let's start with, I don't think I need, well, if I do Enrage, I'll take a little bit more damage, but maybe it's not a bad idea. Let's do Enrage, and then Ether Storm. Okay. So I remove all of their evasions and deal a little bit of damage. Then let's do Blessed Strike, and then remove my vulnerability, and then Stinging Strike would kill with the burn later, right? Yep, let's do it. Okay. Alright, that's actually good. The evasion is very annoying. If your deck is not really built around multi-hits, it's very difficult to handle. Alright, so here let's do Enrage, Gather Power, Virulent Strike, Slash, Mana Shield, and Triple Strike. Now, we'll take some damage here. Actually, you know what? Let me not take damage. Let me throw the Frost Potion there. Okay. Alright, 10 incoming. Definitely want to do the Power Surge. And I have to remember not to play the Regrowth. Let's do Virulent Strike. Let's do the Focus. Actually, if I do Regrowth, then I can get extra energy with the Focus Push and do another Virulent Strike. And that's enough to kill. Good. Still haven't rested yet, which is really good. Alright, so this is more of a burning card. Another Virulent Strike. I mean... Yeah, maybe Cleaving Strike. Yeah, let's go with another Virulent Strike. Why not? I can try to remove it if I get an opportunity. So you see an easy path, you approach it, and again, you can obviously tell this one will give you health, which I don't necessarily need. This one will investigate what happened to them, which can result in a fight. I think I'll just loot the leftover equipment. And then you can just loot regular stuff, or you can, a special condition with 5 strike cards, grab anything to complement your attacks, in which case that could be either removing a strike or upgrading a strike. Let's go with an upgrade. Blessed Strike upgrade would be nice. Actually, the Stinging Strike upgrade would be nice too. Yeah, let's do that. The fact that it's 1 energy makes it really, really useful. And then here, again, according to your Ether Survival Guard, some plants in the plains are dangerous, but some would be very valuable for alchemy application. So if you gather all of them, I think you end up fighting them. So let's just safely take a few easily identifiable plants. Again, a bunch of gold, etc. Okay. And then this is interesting. So a pack of seal gears are munching on a giant herbivore animal carcass. They're too busy to have spotted you. You can see a lot of animal activity in distance. There's a particularly active part of the plains. You could interfere, but it's not going to be an easy fight. So you can sort of see there are different animals. These are all animals that you end up fighting at some point. Now you can ambush them, which gives you an advantage. But what I like to do is just stay hidden and observe. And then golems come by, you still stay hidden. And then sometimes you keep doing other stuff, like other enemies come by. You stay hidden, and at the end you gain ether energy. Now, of course, if you fought them, you would have gotten something, but I think this is better. Alright, so this is my first ring offered. So the starting growth rank is 2. Now, growth is that buff that increases your maximum mana by 1 per rank. And spell damage increases by 10%. Now, my spells are the Ether Storm and Singularity, which might be useful. 10% is pretty good. There's also the outfit, so you cannot evade or deal critical hits, which I'm not dealing critical hits anyway, so that's fine. But my max shield is increased, and damage taken by attacks is decreased, which seems actually very powerful. Actually a tough choice. This is more focused on defense. But I'm worried that not evading critical hits. Well, actually, yeah, I'm not evading anything. Let's go with the outfit. Yeah, the damage taken by attacks -2, I think, is a huge deal. All right, one more question mark room here with looting a cake and updating a cache and updating a common card. Let's actually upgrade one of the enrages. That will make it a little easier to make sure that I always have mighty available to use with the gather power. All right, you know what? I'm gonna risk it and not rest here. I'm so close to max HP, so let's fight this guy. Chimera. Alright, okay, so I could just deal 60 damage with the Singularity, right? Once I play the Mana Shield. Yeah, so let me read the buff here. So he has the buff Shock Rune. So he applies 2 shock per attack hit. So you'll attack me 3 times, meaning I'll get 6 shock already. If I do Enrage, I'll take more damage, but let me see. Yeah, I think this is what I'll do. Let's do Mana Shield, Enrage, and this deals 78 damage, which is quite a bit. And then I can do the Scroll of Recall. Okay, and then I can. I would love to do the upgrade Enrage as well. What? Let's do it. I'll accept the extra damage here. Let's do upgrade Enrage, Gather Power, Blessed Strike, and then Stinging Strike. Okay, yeah, I think that was a really good turn. I dealt almost half HP. Actually, no, exactly half HP damage. That's pretty good. Alright, so here, Ether Storm is also really nice. Definitely want to do Power Surge. Let's do Power Surge, Ether Storm. 36 damage. Okay. Then Focus, slash Restorative Shield. Actually, Focus first. Alright. So now I will fill my... Well, he will fill my Shock bar, which means the next attack I'll take after this will deal double damage, which is unfortunate. He's not attacking, but yeah, I will keep this until the next attack. Alright, so I could... I don't think I can regrowth the Ether Storm, right? But I can do Virulent Strike. Mana Shield, another one. And then Ether Storm. Actually, wow, I think this is the fastest I'm able to kill the Chimera. Yeah, that's okay, that's impressive. This deck is really powerful, as I said. Another Singularity is probably too much. I wonder if I should take the Chimera form. Your damaging effect applies shock for 3 turns. You also gain mighty and tough. That might be better. Magic Cannon, you gain mighty and you deal 12 damage, and then this transforms into another card that's more expensive, which then transforms back into a Magic Cannon. It is a spell as well, right? But yeah, this is a tough decision. Probably I don't need a second Singularity. This might be good just for the fact that it gives me mighty. Having shock, especially damaging effects, right? So especially multi-hits will give multiple shock. Let's try the Chimera form. I don't think I played this with this card yet. I'm also thinking if I should upgrade that. Yeah, might be good. 3 mighty, 3 tough. Good idea. Alright, and then let's remove anything I don't need. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's remove one of the Virulent Strike. It deals least damage, and I don't think I need it. Okay. Alright, and then 2 question marks are on the left, so let's go this fight. So these, what are they called? Silgas, so they're the horses. Now, they gain extra damage with pack tactics, so increase the damage by 1 per rank for every other ally alive. So the only reason I'm only taking 2 times 3 damage is because I have the, I have my armor, right, which decreases all strike damage by 2. Really, they attack by 4 times T, so you can imagine if I didn't have that armor, it would be 4 times 3 times 3, so 36 damage in the first turn, which one of the reasons this act is pretty tough. All right, let's start with Power Surge, then Chimera form. Okay, and then I think I'll do Enrage, even though it'll make them attack me for more, but I think it's worth it. And then I can do Virulent Strike. Okay, and then if I do Slash, I won't be able to do Restorative Shield. I'm already receiving 27 damage. Hang on, let's freeze one of them. Let's freeze you. And then I think, so now it's down to 18, which is fine. Let's just do Slash here. Alright, I'll take a little bit of damage. Alright. So here I can do, yeah, Virulent Strike, and then this guy will take double damage the next time I attack him, but let's do the Ether Storm, actually. Yeah, Ether Storm. Okay. And then I can kill this guy with the Blessed Strike. Should I do... Actually, let's do Stinging Strike first. Yeah, look at that. 40 damage. Okay. Then do Focus. Blessed Strike. Yep, that's actually enough to kill. Good. Alright, so another relic. This trinket is actually really nice. So treasure created on kill +2. So every time I kill one of the enemies, I'll get treasures. Treasures are 1-cost cards that basically give you card draw. This is also really good. Snail Shell. So gain 12 shield and 1 tough. So that might be useful if there's a turn that I can't really defend well. Let's take this. Alright, I'm not a big fan of Grizzly Strike because it gives bleed on a critical hit, but because of my armor, I cannot give critical hits. Also, there are other characters that do better with critical hits. I think I'll take another Enrage. Coordinate Focus is another mana card. Maybe I'll take that since I have the Singularity. Let's take it, sure. Singularity requires a lot of mana, right? Alright, so here you gain a boon, which is basically just a benefit. So I get the Mighty buff for 4 fights, which is actually really useful. So yeah, it might make it easier for me to gain strength. And then yeah, this is also interesting. It depends. So you're spotted in a cave. You spotted a cave in the distance just before nightfall. You could get there safely if you make the right decision. So if I click on something wrong, I will have to fight somebody. So first I progress. Oh, actually, okay, this is actually new for this character. You instantly know to run. I guess I know to run. And then I have to progress further. Okay, so you hear a loud buzz in the dark. You can barely spot the green hue of a giant dragonfly flying over a few other animals defending themselves. So you can immediately rush away from them, or you can wait, duck, and hide in the tall grass. So sometimes when you wait, duck, and hide, somebody spots you, and then I'm gonna try rushing away from them. Okay, that worked. The monsters didn't see you. Can progress safely. All right, let's progress. And okay, I made it. The cave is small and well hidden. You can safely heal, rest, and reflect on your ability to avoid all of these predators. So let's upgrade. I'm actually thinking now that I have so much sources of mighty, let's upgrade the gather power. Gain 2 powerful that way. Okay, and I also heal back a little bit, which is nice. And then, yeah, let me just fight this guy just to show you how powerful it is. So it's the Natha. Okay, so he starts off with 6 incoming. Let's do the Enrage, Blessed Strike, remove the vulnerability, then do Ether Storm. Okay, and then I'll do Stinging Strike and Triple Strike. Yeah, note that he had 120 damage to start with, or 120 HP, I mean. Okay, so now I also get the bleed debuff, which means I take 1 damage for every card I play. Alright, so here let's do, yeah, probably start with Chimera form, Cornered Focus to gain some mana. And I could get back with more mana, right? But I don't think I need to. Let's do Power Surge, Virulent Strike, Restorative Shield, and then I could even do, yeah, let's regrowth the Restorative Shield. Oh, I don't have enough energy. That's fine. Well, yeah, let's do the Turtle Shell too. Why not? That way I'll still have some block for next turn. Okay. Alright, so here, do I want to do Enrage? Probably not, because I don't want to be vulnerable. I can just do Gather Power here. Okay. then Virulent Strike slash. Okay. Yeah, I can't afford a Singularity, sadly. You know what? Let me do Enrage just so I can play the Scroll of Recall. Okay. Oh, wow. Only mana cards. Actually, wait. Do I have enough to play the Singularity after all? Yeah. Alright. So I could do 142 damage to this guy. Or just kill this guy. Well, this guy's attacking me for more, so let's do this. Okay. Alright, here I was talking about how this enemy is really tough and I was able to kill so quickly, but yeah, I think that really just means how that my current deck is very powerful. Alright. Okay, now I think that's my last fight before the boss fight, right? Let's actually take against the odds. Wait, hang on. Who's my... yeah, well, it just gives me a bunch of block. I could also just go for another Virulent Strike, sure. Alright, so this guy is very tough. I'm gonna rest, even though I don't really need to rest, but it does give me, as I mentioned, beyond just getting HP, you also get some debuffs. So you can restore another 15 health, which I don't need, or you can remove a card. Let's remove that Virulent Strike I just took. And let's also use the others. So you rest for nothing, and then you can gain a lot of energy for your artifact. Let's actually do that, because I don't have much else to remove. Okay, so shock applied by spells. No, I think I'll discard. I could, and then this one deals 5 damage to any target. If it kills it, you gain 3 maximum health. I don't think I need it. I'm pretty happy with all the relics I have here. All right, one more rest. Gain a lot of energy for it after. Temporary buff is actually probably better. Yeah, tough buff is pretty good. And last, you know what? Let's remove a card. Sure, I'll probably remove. Since I have already a mana card with Coordinate Focus, I think I don't need the mana shield anymore. Okay. Alright, I think I'm in a good position. Okay, so Sapphire Dragon. I think when he reaches half HP, he summons 2 more dragons, right? So this is the difficulty. Let's start with Enrage, since I'm not getting attacked. Gather Power. Might as well do Corner Focus, Virulent Strike, Mana Shield, and Regular Focus. Okay, so now that I have more than 10 mana, it will reset down to 10, and then I get my regular +4. Okay, so should I just do Singularity? 80 damage. Pretty good, right? Yeah, let's do it. And yeah, as I said, he summons the 2 drakes. Alright, let's do triple damage. Oh, actually, if I regrow it, I can't really use it. I don't have enough energy or enough mana. But I think what I can do is I can do Blessed Strike, remove the burn debuff, then regrowth, then use my Scroll of Recall. And then, yeah, Ether Storm is pretty good. Gets rid of all the evasions these guys have. Yeah, let's do it. And then I can even kill this guy. 30 damage. That's a lot of wasted damage, but yeah, fine. Okay. Alright, pretty good fight. Okay, so I got these worm fires. So they basically, if I don't play them, I'll get an extra burn, which is fine. I already have a bunch of burn, right? So that's not that big of a deal. Let's instead do something like Chimera Form, Virulent Strike, then Focus. I don't want to do Enrage because I don't want to be vulnerable. I'll take more damage that way. So let's just get rid of one of the worm fires. I could actually, yeah, let's also do the turtle shell here. Okay. This enemy, I think if he doesn't attack for a few turns, he'll deal like a ridiculously large amount of damage, like 50 or something. So I gotta be a little careful. I don't think I can trigger. Singularity would kill, but I don't think I can trigger it, right? So let's do Chimera Form, Power Surge. And then I played it differently. If I played it differently, I could have probably gained more mana with my focus card, but this is fine. Let's have a lot of HP here. Okay. Let's do Gather Power again. Coordinate Focus, Triple Strike, Virulent Strike. Should have obviously switched the order there. And yeah, sure, more focus, why not? So my next attack will deal double damage. Actually, yeah, I was saying that this is very difficult. I am not usually able to kill this quickly, but yeah, alright, I got it. And then, yeah, after every fight you get a nice summary. So this is the sort of deck that you ended up with. These are the trinkets. I didn't actually end up any ring trinkets. But yeah, I had a lot of good trinkets here. They helped me quite a bit. The active ones are really useful because you can use them every fight. And obviously, a lot of depends on what sort of relics you get here. So the fact that I was able to gain, well, this one that gives me a lot of block was really good. But yeah, this is Breach Wanderers, a very fun game. I will probably continue to record a few more episodes. I definitely want to play or record all of the other characters. I played all of them. Let me briefly review them. Also, at the end of each fight, you get a summary, and then obviously you upgrade your levels. But this guy's already on level 10 because I've been playing him quite a bit. But yeah, let's review the let's review the other characters. So Roadan is sort of standard. He's mostly, yeah, it's a Frost mage, although the default deck focuses on Frost, but I haven't really been using any Frost. It's sort of very default. I'm actually very happy that this is sort of the first character because you get very basic bonuses. So you gain extra mana at the beginning of your turn, you get extra growth, extra bonus through frozen targets, and then whenever you trigger a status, you draw a card. So very, very basic stuff. Then you have Merle. She is a powerful assassin, so she is mostly working with critical damage and the ability to hide and take less damage or even evade attacks, which is pretty useful. You have Seelan. This guy every turn gets a cannon blast, which is really powerful, basically just deals damage, so very damage focus. You have Inna. I don't think I played with her. Maybe I played once, yeah, because I think... No, actually, I don't think I played with her at all. Yeah, no idea what she does. I will get familiar with her. And I played Drophus. She's a lot of fun. So she used her blood magic to create powerful attacks. The default deck, let me actually edit it just so you can see it. There's a lot of fun stuff with that. You lose health with pretty much everything you do. Let me actually, yeah, so Blood Strike, for example, you deal damage, lose health, and then you gain that health back with something like Mint. And then every time you lose health, you get another attack card. I believe it should be at the very... Yeah, you get Blood Burst every time you lose health. So, yeah, it's a very interesting character, I have to admit. Cancel that. But I haven't played much with her yet. I'm only on level 3. Yeah, Roadan is like a very good start, and I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this game. It is in early access still, but I am feeling pretty good about this. I'm definitely looking forward to it being released. I should also pull up the roadmap here. No, wait, where's the roadmap? Yeah, the roadmap is at the beginning of this game. So yeah, if you go on the roadmap, it shows you where you're at and where you get. So early access roadmap is that right now, before it would show you the spring of 2021, which I guess it doesn't show you anymore. But anyway, so in the summer they expect a new hero, new depths, which is what I'm mostly looking forward to. And then yeah, the goal is to yeah, I guess final area, summer 2022. It's a lot of fun. Let me know if you would like to see more videos like this. Let me also know if you would like me to focus more on the gameplay or to maybe spend an episode or two really building a nice deck. But yeah, I'm looking forward to your feedback, and of course I will continue to play the Slay the Spire. And I have to admit, I was planning to play other games. This was not one on the list, but I have to admit I really like it so far, and I might play this for a while before I switch to other games. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you later with the Slay the Spire episode. Thanks for watching. Bye.